More polls, digging deeper on the polls. These are Fox News Opinion Dynamics polls. Look here. Among likely voters, Barack Obama has 49% of those surveyed. John McCain, 40% of those surveyed. But when asked who is ready to be president, 52% said Obama. There you go, compared to 80% who said McCain had the right experience. Yet they're not voting for, you know. To sort all this out, I'm joined by the Democratic consultant Kelly Bingle and the former chief of staff to Senator Blanche Lincoln, and Chris Wilson, a Republican pollster and consultant. Chris, are you ever a little weirded out by the fact that they think McCain is the one who's ready, yet they say they're going to vote for the other guy?
Weirded out. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it is an interesting dichotomy, because I think one of the things that I've been seeing in the polling, going back really since Obama took the lead in the Democratic primary, was a majority of Americans saying they didn't believe that Barack Obama had the experience to be president. And that has maintained itself really up until this poll. It's reflected in your numbers, reflected in the ABC News Washington Post poll from last week, and what you're finding, better than half of Americans say Barack Obama does not have the experience to be president. And that's why we're seeing in an economy that, I mean, you could really take the S&P 500 numbers and overlay McCain's polling numbers with them, and that's why we see the movement we have in your poll. And that's why in an economy like this, when really McCain should be losing by a lot more, he's not, because Obama has not been able to close that deal just based on that experience issue that he's having trouble overcoming.
I paused for an alert from the control room, because we had made a decision that when the Dow goes down more than 500 points, we would alert. We did not, but now I can tell you the Dow is down 420 and in a nosedive, 520 I should say, on the session, and in an absolute nosedive. Of course, at the moment I cannot see the, oh, there we go, 85.10 and selling off. For you know, Kelly, though it doesn't sound right to say it, this is great news for the campaign of Barack Obama and horrible news for the campaign of John McCain, if you believe the pollsters. Because what the pollsters are telling us is that every time John McCain has to talk about the economy, he's hurt. However, Joe the plumber seems to have helped some. Would you agree?
Joe the plumber was a good talking point for a bit, but no, this is about jobs, baby, jobs. You know, and Barack Obama has had the right message on what he's going to do to help create jobs in this economy. And nationwide polls are interesting, but the real focus has got to be on state-by-state polls. And the very fact that the battleground states of Colorado and Virginia are the places that you find Barack Obama polling or campaigning today is proof that he's talking to middle America, and that he's talking to folks in states that Democrats haven't been able to talk to folks in a very long time, and those are the polls that we really have to be looking at.
Yeah, actually, you know, the polls do reflect exactly that, and I wonder, Chris, to what you attribute that, and if you feel like there's time to recapture some of that, because I know John McCain is on the trail trying to do that.
He is. He's in New Hampshire today. He's been spending a lot of his time in these swing states. And we just have to face it, the world has changed in terms of what the swing states are. The swing states are now states like Virginia, Colorado, where we're seeing demographic trends. I mean, if we were having this conversation in the 1960s, we would have never talked about Georgia or Alabama as Republican states. They are today. So the world changes over time. That's a natural cycle of things, and that's why we see the states are being battled over changing. And we do still see a scenario where McCain is able to put together enough electoral votes on a state-by-state basis to get to 271, 274, and win an election day. But back to your original question on the economy, yes, there's no question a dive in the economy is good for Obama. And there is an interesting combination that goes on there, because it kind of takes that experience question off the table and puts it back into the world in which Obama can excel, which is on these economic issues, because it's not one that McCain has done well. But that's not unique to John McCain. That's been the case with every presidential election for the last 40 years. Republicans have trailed on the economy, and it just carries into this one as well.
All right, sadly I'm out of time, because we're watching the Dow and preparing for breaking news. Stay with us if you would. Let's do more of this on the other side of commercial.